Hello guys and welcome to module 4 where we'll be talking about the tools. We'll be taking introduction to Photoshop, introduction to CorelDRAW, introduction to PixelLab and also how to download and install fonts both on your mobile phone and on your PC. Let's dive in. So this is what my PixelLab looks like, this one here. This is the first thing you should see when you enter your PixelLab app. So we're going to go over everything in just a few minutes, right? As fast as we can. By the top left, we have this plus icon. So this plus icon, we have text and some other things like that. This plus icon simply means add, right? So if we want to add text, apart from this text that's already here, we want to add another text, come here and then we have our text added, right? Now, if we want to add today's date, it's still going to be in text format, right? We still have today's date. Let's just position it right here. And then we have stickers. So this is the first sticker that you will get. Now this will be important maybe when we are talking about lens flares, but for now, no. Now when you mark it, it's gone, right? But then when you undo, it's back. So this time around, yeah, you can have it. That's how to get your sticker. Now let's just delete this. This is to delete this delete icon here. Now next thing we have is your shapes. So once you click on your shapes, you see down here you can be able to change the shape. So if we click here, we have circle, we have a semicircle, we have triangle, and all these other shapes like that. So let's go with the square, and we can change it to a rectangle like so. Now we can move it around. Let's just keep it down here. Up next, we have from gallery. Now this is to import from gallery. Remember, this is add, so maybe you want to add an image from your gallery. Let's say we want to add an image. Let's add this image, right? So you could crop it. This has the transparent background, so you could crop it. And then yes, so now I've added the image. I want to reduce the image, so just hold here and reduce the image. Now I've added an image from my gallery, right? Let's come here, and then the last thing we have here is draw. That's the last option. So we have different colors to pick from. Let's pick this color. No, let's pick a dark color. And you could increase the pen size, but I'm cool with 10. Then the smoothness and all those things like that. Get to know all this later. I'm just going to paint over this side and paint over this side like so. And also to paint over this side and to paint over this side. Now our paint is on top our write-ups. Okay, so and then click done, and we are done. Now we're done with the plus icon, right? The second icon is the save. You can save as project so that you can always come back to it and edit it. Just save the name and then you'll always see it in your PixelLab username. You could also save it as an image. It's just like exporting it. Use Ultra, JPEG or PNG, whatever file format you want to use. Could share it and so on. Now, the third is share, which is basically the same thing with save. So you get the idea. This the fourth icon here is this quotes. So this is like to add a body of text or something like that. Let's say I want to add this body of text, right? Let me reduce it and add that body of text somewhere around here. Yes, I want to add it somewhere around here. So that is what this quotes is for. Just to get a text. And then the fifth one is this menu icon. So if we tap on the menu icon, we have use image from gallery. Now use image from gallery is going to change our background, right? And we do not want to do that right now. So we'll do that maybe on later videos. We have full screen just to view our design in full screen. Then we have use image from camera. It's still the same thing, but this time around we are going to snap what you want to use as background. Export image, the same thing as the save icon, right? Then we have image size. Now we are using aspect ratio 1.1, which is the default, but then you could change it to square, 1020 by 1020, which is still square, aspect ratio 1.1. Provide picture, the same thing. YouTube 16 ratio 9, right? 16 ratio 9 is YouTube channel banner. YouTube thumbnail is still the same thing. Facebook cover art has its own, and so on and so forth. So you could actually make this, let's say, custom, or let's say square, and instead of 1020, you could say 5000 by 1020, right? And if you click on OK, it's going to change, but we don't want to do that right now. So let's just cancel. That is how to change your image size. All these other things, we don't need them. Then open PLP files, to open other PLP files in different locations. These are the ones I've worked on recently, but if it's in your phone, then you just go back and then you can choose the directory where it is. Now, we're done with the first line. The second line, okay, coming to the second line, we have this edit, where it's just going to help us edit the selected item. Now, this this brush tool that we used recently is the layer that is currently selected. Now let's, and that's why we're able to edit it, right? We could delete it and it's gone. Then this tool here is undo, so we undo and then it's back. So this one is delete, this one is undo, right? This one is edit. Now this one is to zoom in, this one is to zoom in. So we click on zoom in and we can zoom into our canvas. We could move it and then zoom in. And but now we can't move anything, right? We can't touch any text, we can't touch anything. We have to turn off the zoom because we are comfortable now. Then we can begin to, okay, so since we have turned off the layer, now we can be able to have access to all these things, right? And be able to have access to all these things. Now we want to zoom out, and we don't have to start doing, we don't want to start zooming out this way. We could just tap this side and then we have zoomed out. Then we turn off the zoom, right? So let's come back to our layer pane and then turn on the eye, so that this layer is still the way it is. Now the next thing we have here is our grid lines or your ruler. So once you tap it, you just have your ruler, and then you could be able to adjust it. It even looks as if I used ruler to design, to draw this box and then this text. So let's say I want to align this text to the ruler. I'll just do something like this, like something like this. So this is use of your ruler. Now, if you want, what if you want to edit your ruler? You want to move the position of the ruler. So you tap here. Here you have your settings, right? Now, this particular one is to add vertical rulers. This is to add horizontal rulers. This is to delete the selected ruler, and this is to move the ruler. So let's choose this particular ruler here, and instead of moving it with our hands, let's use this and move it. Let's say 5%, right? Okay, let's say 10%. Let's have a good margin. Now let's pick this one, then let's move it 90%, so that the space from the left and the space from the right is the same. Now we can begin whatever we are doing from here and from here. Now let's pick this other one. Let's pick not this one. Okay, there are actually three. Let me turn this. Okay, yes, there are actually three. So this other one, let's move it to, let's say, 10%. Let's move this one to 90%. And then now we have a good square. Let me turn this eye off. So now you can leave your rulers here and then you'll be able to design. So this is to delete. So the selected one. So if we delete it, it's gone. Right? So we want to add it back, and then set it back to 90. Right? So now that we are done, this last icon here just resets everything back to default. Resets everything back to default. 3 by 3. So or 4 by 4, 5 by 5, whatever you want to use. So let's go with 3 by 3 and back to default. Okay. So that is the concept of rulers. Now this, I've used this before. This is your layers. To see all your layers, you can turn off and turn on your layer. So just like we did with this, right? You could delete any layer, undo that. You could edit the layer, right? So when it comes to text, you have more options. When it comes to just image or background, you don't have a lot of options like that. So this is where you see your layers. And now I don't like the fact that this brush is over my image and over my right top, right? So I want to bring it down. That's this particular layer. To bring it down, let's see, let it even be the last. Yes. So it has gone below. Now we can see. So this is where you use your layers. Now let's say we want to arrange this particular text to the center, right? Okay, now we are done with the top and all. So coming down here, this particular side is just where you come to see your projects, and then you can select any project and work on. And it's also where you can choose your default background, right? You can choose your default background from here. Now let's just click on neutral. Coming here, this is your text. This A represent text. Now because no text is selected, we don't have a lot of options. We have the option of adding text. We have the option of codes, which we also have here, right? But now let's select the text, and then you can see that we have a lot of things to do. We have a lot of things to do, right? So let's start. I have a lot of things to do. So let's start from edit. So you could edit the text. Could edit the text and write something like hello. Oops. You could edit the text and write something like hello. Right. So let's select it. Then we could delete it. We know what that's going to do. We could copy it, and then we have another copy. And we have another copy. So let's delete this copy. Then we could bring it to front or send it to back, which is just going to alternate the visibility. Let's put it here and see. So if we send it to back, you could see that is behind this image, right? We bring it to front, it's going to come back to the front. So that is what this does. Then we have position. So this is to move it. Now we are moving by 6 pixels, right? Which is the default. So we could move it up, move it down. This is important when you have your alignment already and you don't want to start moving it with your hands because you may go out of the alignment. So once you have already aligned it, say you have aligned it to this box and you want to move it up, just move it this way. Right? Just move it this way. You could increase this and then move it this way. You use it and then move it this way. So I hope we are understanding. Now the next thing is relative position, right? This is just the position to the canvas. So let's say we want it to be in the center horizontally and in the center vertically. So that's how we go. Let's say we want it to be at the top center, yes, or top right, or top left, or bottom. So whatever position you want it to be. This is actually one of my best alignments. So let's just put it this way and then let's bring it down and do something. So we're done. Now coming to size, well, we all know what this does, right? Just reduces the size and increases the size of our text. Then padding. Now this add space. Let's use a paragraph text for this. Say padding. This add space. You can see the space here. Oops. You can see this space from the left side to the right up, right? You can see the space from the right side to the right up. So that is what padding does. You cancel it. So color. Now you could select the portion you want to color, but we're not going to do that right now. We could give it this color, give it this color, whatever color you want to give it. The color is not here, you can add it from here. Pick the color and pick the tool, then okay. So bad contrast. Okay, so oops. So let's go with this color. No, let's go with white. Now, what if you want to use a gradient, right? So you have different gradients here. Most of these gradients I created them. So you can just create your own gradients too. Let's go over that now. That's the same way you create background gradients and other gradients. So come here, plus, choose the first color, right? And then let's say green. Choose the second color, choose here, right? Choose this, and then go the same green. Let's give it a darker shade. Then we have something like this where we could adjust this. This green is too harmful for my eyes. Let's darken it a little bit. Still too much. Darken it a little bit so it blends well. Now let's click on OK, and then we have this gradient. There's no contrast here. There's no good contrast because the background itself is green. So, but we get the point, right? So that is for color. We are skipping texture for now. I have nothing to do there. Opacity. Opacity is how much you see it, right? Just like the transparency. So if you want it to affect the shadow, you definitely turn this on if you have shadow on. Now, there's rotation, just to rotate. We don't have to touch this. We don't have to say much on this. Let's cancel this. And then we have mask. We are also skipping this for now. And we have font. So you could change the font. You would we would be thinking how to install fonts, so we could change the fonts. I would have used this, but then I'm not using it because we don't use serif fonts for paragraphs, right? For a long paragraph. So let's go with something nice. Let's go with Roboto regular. Let's go with this. And now I have changed the font, right? Moving on, we have style. So you could make it bold, and you could remove any style added. You could italicize it, you could underline it, and then you could remove, and also select wherever you want to make the changes to, right? I don't like this color, it's not giving me what I want. So let's come back to white. Now talking about curves, let's come back here. Say we want to curve this. So this is what curve actually does. Curve your text, or you want to curve it the other way, or let's curve it this way. Now background, I wouldn't use this, but then it is to give your right of a background. So instead of drawing a box behind it, you give it a background. So we undo that. Then alignment. So let's choose this paragraph and then align. We could use left alignment, center alignment, and right alignment. We could also use justify. Left alignment, but then justify it. See what justify does, right? It extends everything to the end. Yes. So Let's go with center alignment, please. There's no need to justify. Now spacing, this is letter spacing. Let's go with hello. Talking about letter spacing, going to space all the letters, right? Now talking about words, let's come here. Space between each word is what this does, and then space between each letter is what this does. So you can see it's more spread than words. So understand spacing. And line spacing, very good. So this is the space between your lines, right? Then let's come to stroke. Let's choose this, and then talking about stroke, this is it. This is just your stroke, and then we all know how to change the color and the width, the right button. Then we have shadow, and then you play with this and get your shadow. We have a lot of other things like that. We have perspective tool. This perspective tool is okay, that disappeared. Let's come back to our text. So we have our perspective tool, 3D rotate, 3D text, and all these other things. But then let's move to reflection, right? Let's turn it on, and then we have this reflection of our text hello. So let's undo, and then that is all for the text. Coming here, this is the second in where we just have a few things that we have spoke about before. So these stickers is the same thing we have done before, right? Then we have importing images, of course. Then we have draw, we have shapes, we have bezier. This is the only thing we have not spoken about. This is mostly used by logo designers, but then if you want to have custom shapes, use the bezier tool. Use the bezier tool. Then you just have nice design, and then you have a shape already. So and then so that's about the bezier tool. Then we have this arrow. We have different edges for the arrow and a lot of other things like that. So the arrowhead, yeah. So I don't use this most often. So that's all about the arrow. Okay. Moving to the fourth. This is background. So do you want your background to have a color instead of this gradient we have here, or do you want your background to be transparent? Or and then this is to change your image size. We have done that here already. And then we have this image as choose from backgrounds that are available in PixelLab, or from your gallery you import a background image. We have done that, or from your camera. We've done that also. This last magic wand is just a little retouch for your design. So you could add this and reduce it, increase it, I don't know. And you could add your noise depending on what you want to achieve, right? So let's say we have little noise of 40 here. Oops. So we have a little noise of 40. And then we have the stripes. So for the stripes, let's just give it 25. Oh, let's go with 20. Repeat. Okay. 10 is okay. Now brightness, we know what this does, right? So to leave this in 0. Contrast. So I want to leave this in 0 to, or let's say 5. Hue. Change, this is what you use to change color. So let's say you imported a green background and you want to change it to blue. Just come to your hue, and then you look for blue. So you look for blue and then you get it using your hue. Then saturation. So leave this in 6. This is all you need to know about PixelLab. This is a basic introduction to PixelLab. Yes, so coming to our layers, let's just delete this. I don't know what it's doing here. So we're done. So this is your basic introduction to PixelLab. Let me just something small here. Right. So this is your center alignment. And this is centered. And then because this is not a text, we come here. Since it's a shape and then we center it. And this is a text. So we come here to center it. Right. Then we move this a little bit. Now I want to select this and this and move it up. So that's let's just rearrange this. We have this new text and the box, right? So this new text and the box. So here, new text is and this. Then we tap here and then we tap here. So we can center all three. But then we do the same thing again. This time around we use this. So we move up and we're done. So this is not actually given, but then you understand the point, right? You understand the point. So this is all you need to know about PixelLab. See you in the next video. We'll be taking practical designs with PixelLab.